All right, here we are.
Here we are
Yes.
again.
Yeah. Yeah. No, so yeah. So a little bit of an update before we get into this in today's stream. Uh, Nomads of Code is the channel name, right? That's the new
That's
thing. That's right. And apart from that, uh, Nomads of Code is more than just us two having fun and learning together. It's about our consultancy business that we will conduct under that brand name. And also, um, I've been involved in teaching since 2014, and you've been involved uh, for not as long as that.
right. No.
No. But so I've been delivering courses, accelerated training in software development um, under the brand name of Craft Academy. And one of the changes that we made recently is that this Nomads of Code will also include the training um, for our accelerated training courses, but also for our corporate courses, which is something uh, that we started recently, and you've been involved in that. We had this fantastic
Yeah.
run with a few clients regarding Cypress testing, automated tests,
Yes.
and so great fun. So Nomads of Code. Um, um, we will be so. Let's talk a little bit about the idea of this. Let's like yes, let's spend 5 minutes on that. The idea of these streams. Why do we do this, Max? Could you tell me, and by telling
Uh,
me, perhaps tell the outside world?
I mean, the streams are a good showcase of what we get up to and how we get up to it. So it is a way to see our workflow between you and me. Um, I think some of these streams are probably going to go pretty deep. So, it would be nice to think that someone that's trying to solve a very particular problem might encounter one searching for it and thereby finding a solution to their problem. That's certainly one hope. Uh, and also, it's fun.
It's fun. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun to code along together. It's fun to pair program, and I think you can encounter a lot of tutorials online everywhere. There's a lot of very polished and produced, shorts condensed in a short bit of time. They maybe don't always illustrate or kind of showcase the promises of pair programming, and then really trying to collaborate and have coding be an incredibly social experience, which hopefully opens up in better code. If you watched the last stream, you probably saw Thomas tear out his hair based on how I tried to spell country.
Yeah.
But that's just an example of something that, honestly, I probably would have missed. It would have taken me 5-10 minutes to solve it, but it would have stopped my workflow instead of finding it right away, and then you pay a much bigger price. So that's just a little thing. The pair programming, don't forget it. It's really, I think it's really valuable to look at two people putting together.
Yeah. So I'm a great advocate for of pair programming. So I think that's actually a longer discussion than we have time for today.
Yeah.
But we will definitely uh, try to live up to the creed of what of the things that we preach in our courses, which is the pair programming to solve problems, but also to learn. I think that's like the last stream was a good example of that. I also think that the naked truth approach is very interesting. So we have this idea that our sessions will be around 45 minutes long. We blew it
Yeah.
big time last time. I think it
Yeah.
was actually
Look, let's be completely transparent. We're going to blow that time,
over and
the
over
time
again. Yeah,
box over and over
yeah,
again.
yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah.
That's life.
I was
That's
thinking
how we
about
do
it.
this.
Perhaps we should have you could set an alarm on your iPhone, and so
Yes,
when
actually, that's a
45
good
minute
idea.
passes, we actually know when it passes. So, but
Yeah.
and then we can make a decision whether we carry on or not. But the
Mhm.
thing is that it's so often in software development, you solve a problem and you just dive into it, and there are side problems that show up,
Yeah.
things that needs to be fixed, and topics that are just caught our attention, and that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, without prolonging this discussion, thank you for that. I think that seeing us learn new stuff or experiment will hopefully be an inspiration for our viewers, and perhaps inspire them to reach out to new territories and try out new stuff, or adopt some of our workflow, or whatever. And along the way, I hope that we will have great fun as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just want to say, do you see my coffee cup?
Nice.
That's the best coffee cup I've ever had. It's a GitHub. It actually says here GitHub. Oh, sorry, here I am.
That is some fancy swag.
Yeah, full transparency. This is a student of mine left it at the office when he graduated.
Wow.
So thanks, man. You know who you are, But so it's mine now. Right. And another great piece of news, of course, for me in my life, I attended Whitesnake concert yesterday. So yeah, rock on. Very bluesy, and also these
cool.
legends. I love.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right. So we dealt with, we did this thing with React Redux.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
We're
right,
exploring this well, it isn't that new, but fairly new release of the Redux toolkit.
Right. And we learned a few things, right?
Yeah, we did. But it has a lot more to offer than what we used it for yesterday.
Right. And that's the topic for today. Well, let me see if I can switch to my screen for a sec. And also, I think it's wise for us to pull up the documentation for for this package. Let's just do that here on screen. There we go, Redux Toolkit. We have this small application that is called Newswire Network, right? That basically what it does is that it interacts with the news API. It interacts with the news API and pull out some news based on the country that you are currently in. And we of course use Cypress to write a few integration or a few end-to-end tests. That's another discussion. Should we call them end-to-end feature testing, or integration tests, or acceptance tests? But that's a different thing, different day, I guess. And right, so we had a Redux implementation. We removed that Redux implementation and changed it to Redux Toolkit, and we're all good. But what we did is, from all of the things that are listed as included in this package, we used the configure store, right? And we also used create slice. And so that's 2 out of 6. No, oh shit, 2 out of...
Yeah, then there's this whole
2 out of 8
query thing as well now.
Right. Yeah, and the query thing.
Which has
I don't even know what that is. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, well, it's optional, so
Yeah.
We'll leave that for another time.
Yeah, let's leave it for another time. Okay.
But yeah.
So the thing with this create slice was that it wraps the create reducer and create action together into one, right? So we now use this. We take a look at the new slice. So this is the setup for that, and we can export this SetNewsItems action creator and the reducer itself, right? Which is great. But do we ever use the reducer, the new slice? Do we use that for anything?
Well, don't we have to set them once we...
Right. So
is that in the
News. Let's have a look.
Yeah, we do. We do in the new service.js module. Yeah, you're already there. Isn't that
No,
set new
no,
site?
no, no, no. We don't. I'm sorry, but we don't. If you look at
So
line 2,
yeah.
that is the action creator.
Ah.
So I was thinking about this yesterday when I was like glancing over this code. If you would comment out this line, my theory is that our test will still pass. We never
Uh-huh.
actually use this for anything,
Mm-hmm.
or at least I don't think we do. So we're just gonna run Cypress. You remember? Oh shit! You remember when we wrote this yesterday? I was saying that we need to take a look at simplifying this a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think before we move on to create reducer and create, whatever else this toolbox provides, I would
Mm-hmm.
like to see if it actually is is used for. But now I got some. Now okay, yes, we are using it. We are using it. Mea culpa. I got a compile error now because you see this export is actually used here in store. This
There it
makes use
is.
of the reducer. Right. So this one is actually needed.
But you're saying that inside the module of new service, the thing that's being invoked on
Is the action creator.
the action created
Oh,
on
yeah.
line 12, right?
Right. Like we
Yeah.
import SetNewsItems, which is
Yeah.
the action, and we use it on line 12. Right.
Hmm.
So okay. So this means that so I have an idea
Yeah.
for refactoring. Now, usually when you refactor, you want to, have less code or
Yeah.
better code. We will actually refactor this into, I think, more code.
Excellent.
Yeah, just I think it's whether it's excellent, I don't know. Redux toolkit. Let me just check my status here. Yeah, I'm all right. So I can always revert back by resetting this commit. So I will just continue to carry on the same
Yeah.
branch. Okay.
Yeah.
And I also disabled my Copilot. No, yeah.
I've done the same.
Right. So we will go into this news slice, and I will. Well, will I? Yeah. So my idea is that we can turn this. We can comment all of this out, and I will import create reducer and create action, like because the create slice combines those two, right? So I want to achieve the same end result, so I want to import both of them into this one, right? So let's remove that. Let's start from on the top here, right? So I can probably reuse this initial state, and then I will export. No, right. Yeah, let's do that. Let's export constant, and I will call this one news reducer, and that would be the create reducer thing, right? And we probably need to figure out how to use the create reducer command, and then I'm gonna export constant news. I don't know, news to a Yeah, and use actions. Can we say that? Actions equal create action. Or no, I'm going to call it actually set news items. You know, I'm going to right. And so let's have a look about for on the documentation for the create reducer first, because I want to get that done. But I will remove this. Sorry, I will remove this, and I will import from features from news slice. I will import news. What is it? News reducer. I call it, right. So I will call this news reducer here, right. And let's have a look at the create reducer documentation about create reducer. How can we get that create reducer, right? So we're gonna no, what is it called? Redux toolkit, right? Redux tool.
Redux-toolkit.js.org. A little further down, you have it.
There we go. Right.
There, yeah.
Right. So usage. Hey, let's have a look at the API, and we just go to create reducer. Right.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing basically. You understand? As before. You use switch cases.
But this is an example of using a switching case. If you go down a little bit, you see these, they're defining actions for the reducer. Below. You can switch over to JavaScript. So you see that increment, decrement, and increment amount. So it's initializing them as,
right.
Giving them a name, and then the actual create reducer, right? It takes initial state and then a callback, and I guess builder. I mean, you can call whatever you want, I presume. But
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, interesting. But at the same time, not very. But okay.
Maybe not for our use case.
But let's do this anyway, right? So
yeah.
So this, but how does he know about the counter? Increment, create action, counter, decrement. Increment.
Does that live in, or is that enough? You give it
just a name, right?
Yeah.
And then you add the case.
You could.
Okay, let's do one thing at a time.
Let's try it, and then we can mess around with the naming and see if it still works or if it works a different way.
Right. So we're not gonna export anything yet, right?
No, not yet.
So we're just gonna create
even
this
above,
action.
Yeah, even above initial state, right? Yeah, you can.
Yeah. I just will call it set news item, right? But do I have to this? I don't understand this. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because now,
when look in your compare it to what you have in your store.js, it doesn't. There's in store.js we have the thing news feed that we set to news slice. Does news feed need to be?
It could be that. It could be that.
Because that's the name that we originally give it in the news slice, right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, try that. Try news feed
slash set news item.
Yeah, let's see what that does.
Okay, and so the news reducer will be, what I understand is the first
initial
is the state, right?
Yeah.
So we're just gonna go initial. We could have passed in the object, but it doesn't matter. So that's it. And then we have a callback.
Yeah, which takes an argument that they've called builder.
Let's do
that. And then inside the curlies, you do builder, and you do a bunch of methods on builder.
Yeah, and you say add case, which is interesting, right?
Yeah, and I guess in our case here,
it will be add case and then increment.
Right, except
No,
we
not
won't call it
increment, but the
increment
name of
because
the of,
we set it to
right.
whatever we did when we assigned create actions
So
return.
this would be builder
Yeah,
add case, and that
yeah.
would be set news
Needs
items, and then a
items.
callback, and this callback will take
Takes state in action.
right, and then we would just do basically what we did here, right? State items action payload, right?
That's my understanding. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But we need to export these guys. I am pretty sure of that.
You know,
because now we compiled successfully. We have this set news items action, and you know what? I think that our test will actually start passing. Let's run this one. Am I too optimistic?
Yeah. Well, you know, let's see. It's strange that in any of their examples, they're not.
Yeah, we're passing. We're going.
Yeah,
Good.
it's happy. How did you do the export? Will you pull your code up again? Yeah, you just put an export on the news reducer.
Yeah. So we could also skip this. Do you understand? And we can just say export. We can do this export set news items, and then a news reducer. We can do it like this. And this should, in principle, no, yeah. So that's the same thing, right? So the question is now for us to compare this create slice kind of convenience method, right? Because it bundles things together.
Yeah.
With this, right? And right. So what? Yeah. News feed. Right. The only difference here is that this reducer doesn't have a name. Well, it has a name, so we use this here.
Yeah, actually, will
Slice.
you?
News feed. No, that's not what we used here. Where do we use news feed?
On line 8 in store.js. If you look at isn't that the usage? Because that's going to be the key of the reducer or the name of the reducer. It has to be, right?
So what if I would just, in the previous, if I wouldn't just, you know, perhaps I could have done something like this. Do you understand? Like, just like that. Initially, not now, because now I have a different setup.
Right.
And then it would actually use, because I don't really see that this name was ever used in our previous implementation.
Yeah.
But I might be totally wrong. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And yeah. So the magic thing here is this, in my opinion, that this probably needs to correspond to the attribute name or the key in this object, and that feels a bit unintuitive in my opinion.
Yeah. Try to just break it. Just newsfeed hold on that one. Yeah. Well, that's encouraging at least.
No. Oh shit.
Yeah. It's too smart. So it's not that.
So let's remove this altogether. Like, remove it.
Yeah.
And now we get.
That's the last one, right?
No, it all. Oh.
Yeah.
Right. So, oh, this calls for some manual debugging. So let's do
Yeah.
window store. No, I don't have that. Okay, I need to.
Yeah. For
Well,
person.
you have. Well, actually, we can probably say window uh, 0 store. No, we can't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
It is.
Right. Country code, and this array is nothing at this stage, but the country code is set because because we don't have anything.
Is
So
it
how
possible?
about we do? But the question is set new site. Can we do? Let's try that. Let's. But I don't think we can. We could do uh, store and then dispatch. No, you can't do that. Why not? Yeah, I should be able to dispatch here. Is that not not a function? Action must be okay. No, it is actually okay. So plain objects instead. The sexual type was undefined. So plain objects. How? You know, can I
Yeah.
use? Can I just use this set new item?
I mean, that's how we used it. Yeah, and we.
And just dispatch an empty array and then just
Yeah, try them to.
test. No, just empty array with some set
Yeah,
news item.
string.
No, set news item is not defined. Is that
well, but we have now changed
no,
the string.
Yeah, but is set. Well, you mean like this, and then as
no, well, I don't know. I
no,
know.
I don't
That's
think
not
we
what I
are.
meant. I meant that in our code, we in order to break it, we changed the assignment for the create action. Is it possible that set news item is the one? Since it's claiming that
Could
set
be,
news item is not defined.
could be, but you know what we can do? We can do in the news service. We have set news items. We are actually importing it here,
Yep.
so we could, in principle, just set a debugger here.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and here we are.
Here
and
we
so
are.
here we should be able to do this now because set news item and dispatch. Well,
Yeah.
we can remove. We don't have to do this, I guess, because dispatch should be dispatch is not defined.
Store.dispatch.
Cannot read purpose undefined reading store. Oh, because now we are in set news item is not defined, but we do read it here. So set news item should be defined, right? Because we are in that debugger, aren't we? Yeah, we are here. So set news item is what? No, it's not defined. Perhaps we just can't access this in the console.
Yeah.
No, it's not defined. Okay, so we can't run that experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But what worries me is this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what if? Yeah. What
is
if
the fact that what if you don't use store.dispatch? Can you?
Let's see if I can. Yeah, I have store. Yeah, I have store here, right?
Yeah.
So I should be able to just do store dispatch. But I will still get an error that the set news item is not defined. No, so that's not going to help us. All right, that will be left unanswered.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this particular experiment, not everything is doable in the console.
No.
But here, we are using action creators and the reducer in the same, combined, right?
Mhm.
But what if we don't want to use this builder add case? Is there anything about that in the docs? Create reducer. What if I want to create reducer and I don't have, no, he's creating actions here as well. So this is the same thing. Function each action with number. Right, that's not it. Add case reducer to handle a single exact action type. Default case, it doesn't. He's pending.
My daycare neighbors are coming out and screaming. I'm just
Oh,
once the store. Oh, they're very cute. They're also very loud.
okay, so you can add default actions. That's okay.
Yeah.
Create reducer, increment. To generate counter reducer. Look here. Here he doesn't use any actions at all. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
we can't. Yeah. All right. So let's try
that
this.
Looks nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just comment this guy out, and we just set the initial state here. That's totally all right. Let's. Well, actually, you know what? Let's comment this one out too. Let's keep it around, and then we just say const news reducer equals create reducer, and then we just pass in initial state, and then we just pass in an object, and we say set news item, and they were used items, right? Right, items, right, of course.
Yeah.
So this wasn't. You see, look, this was still working without any. Why would I even have to give it a name back? In the previous example, this was never used for anything. It was just a string. Why would I? Never mind. All right, but anyway, so they are using this notation, right? Like this, and then, right, you just say state action, and then you just do the same thing as you did before. News reducer, right? And then we just remove this, set news items. But how the hell do you dispatch this now? Because now we don't have the action creator anymore. Do you understand? So this means that in the news service here, since this doesn't exist anymore, do you understand? How do I dispatch this? Do I have to import the from state features the news slice, and that would be the news reducer. And now, news reducer, and now I would have to say what? News reducer dot, is that what I need to do? Because now this is part of the reducer, so, but it doesn't compile well because we are using it twice. Right, so I would say news reducer dot right. But now he still complains about compilation.
Oh, it's
So an expression on line 3. What line? Oh, sorry. There we go. Right. There was a mismatch when I made a fool of myself there. So let's see. Does this mean that this will work again? It's just the first one. No, it's all of them.
we succeeded in breaking it.
I did, which is good. So how? So goodness. So how can I access the reduce? Right. So I think I need to set the debugger here, and I need to take a closer look at the news reducer. Right, but then that there is no guarantee that I can access this. No, you see? I can't access that. It's not defined. Why is it not defined? I am importing it here. Right. Without creating those actions, how do I use those actions? That's my biggest concern now. And have I missed anything? Because so this is what we've done so far, right? This is what we did.
Yeah.
And the question is, action creates that we're using create action might be used directly as the keys here. Oh, you still need to create those actions as keys. Do you understand? No. Increment. Oh. Right. So if I just move this up here, or I don't know, let's keep it down here. It doesn't really matter. Boom, and we export this one as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the service, we actually do not import the reducer, but go back to importing this, and we just remove this. We'll see how that. Let me get rid of this debugger here. So there we go. Right. Let's reload this. No, so this is still not working. Okay. So in this set news, let's move it up here then. And it still doesn't work. Let me just. So I don't really trust Cypress sometimes, you know. So this is still failing. Okay. And according to their docs, you need to use this syntax if you.
Oh.
Do you understand? So let's try that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now this will work probably. Yeah, probably.
Probably. And this last words.
Yeah. So this works.
Well, it did.
Well.
Interesting. Reload.
Right.
So did we leave in somewhere that we?
Why? That's so weird because I mean this is
Well,
not
it's getting
really.
in. It's probably getting its initial state, but then maybe where we're actually.
Now this is
Oh
failing.
no, you're saying yeah. Oh, how weird. Oh, reboot Cyrus. This feels very
No,
strange.
now they all passed. Now they all passed.
Did you always force refresh, or
I
were
always
you
force
using?
refresh, and now
Yeah.
it's failing, and now oh gosh, I hate when this happens, and now it's passing. All right, so
I'm almost
yeah,
tempted to write a new testing application for this
yeah,
that is
but
fresher in the
I'm gonna
mind.
try by deleting this string here. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And see if it has any bearing on the test. Okay, so that failed miserably, but that's not a. This is not a given. I mean, we can't trust it.
No,
Okay,
no, we can't
twice
be
in a
sure.
row is better, and then the third time it's all
Yeah, but
failing.
look at the
Okay,
error message because it says something interesting. It's actions may not have an undefined type property.
okay, so
Uh,
this is just a type then. So I'm just gonna say type here, whatever, or
yeah,
let's just
yeah,
say
yeah.
whatever, right? And let's see if this kind of fixes the problem. And if it does, then this sucks big time. Do you understand?
Yeah. Are you assign? Is it? What would be the functionality like to create custom types for certain actions so that in somewhere else you would
Not
be able
sure.
to refer? Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know. Uh,
All
I
right.
don't know.
A deeper dive is required, but we did change it to create reducer and state action. So don't sell yourself shorts.
So this is a big question mark for me. And
Yeah.
and you know
Yeah. The array is a bit rich.
yeah. And also, if I need this type action, you know what? No, I can't do that. Well, let's debugger debug. Let's put a debugger here because I can take a look at the action itself. Do you understand? And so let's have a look at action. And now the type is whatever. Do you understand?
I see. Okay, okay.
Which means,
Which means
okay,
that if
no.
you had a if you had a switch case somewhere for the
Yeah, but
reducer,
where? This is the thing. Where?
well, setting it up this way in your store.js, let's have a look at store.js again.
Just a news
Th
reducer.
there I mean, at least it's called, it's you're configuring the store and you're giving it these
Okay,
two
gotcha.
reducers.
Oh, I don't know. Let's try one other thing then. Okay, let's remove this and let's change this back to this setting. You understand? And
Mm-hmm.
leave this debugger
Mm-hmm.
and let's go to the new service and then comment out this and just say store dispatch, and now we just dispatch an object and we say type and we just say test. I don't want to say whatever, and then we say
Mm-hmm.
payload would be the result
Result
data
data article.
articles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
Oops.
There we go. Right, and now we run the test, and now he says what? Oh yeah, sorry.
Syntax there.
We have a syntax error here. we are exporting something that doesn't exist. Right.
Something like that.
No, we're still. What is he saying? Ugh. Right, we cannot import this now anymore. Right, let's try it for the third time. Set news. Okay. I got it. I need to comment this one out. Mea culpa. Let's just do this. All right, let's see. What now?
Well, it's rendering.
And the debugger is never kicked in because the test is not, this type is not recognized by this reducer. Do you understand? But what if I say no, news feed. If I try this, if I say news service and then I go news feed / you know, like they did, does that help? It does not.
No.
Right. And what if we just say news feed in type? So we are effectively prevented from using the old, you know, the direct action. I mean, this is just an experiment for whoever is watching. We're just playing around, but
yeah.
You know, this was this, you know, this old direct way of dispatching an action, like an object where type is required, and now it seems, or at least I haven't cracked that, not yet, that case in that you need to use action creators, which is like this SetNewsItem thing. So we can get rid of this. We are importing this. We don't need this in this slice. We need to back out of this. We apparently need to do it this way. Apparently, if we don't want to use this add case, which is, I guess, smoother, I guess, but I don't know.
Well, add case. I think the builder gives you a bunch of other options as well.
Right.
That could maybe be useful. There's something called builder.addMatcher, builder.addDefaultCase. Actually, those
yeah,
were
default case are there.
Yeah. But you know, that's a fallback. Yeah, I mean, I could see use for that.
Yeah.
If we don't stop nowish, we're going to go on for another hour and a half.
Yeah, we're going to probably stop because I think we kind of depleted what we. I mean, we
messed around with the. I mean, so what we've seen basically is what is baked into create slice. I mean, if anything, my takeaway here would be like, oh, I mean, create slice probably has you covered.
Yeah.
If you want to mutate the application state in whichever which way, and I have to scratch my head a little bit to figure out, you know, when is it useful to split it all up.
The only thing here is that I'm not quite sure where this name is being used, which just leaves us with one final experiment. And I know that these are the famous last words of me when I just say this will only take 5 minutes and it will take like 2 hours, but indulge me on this one. All right,
of course.
So I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna stash all the changes, get rid of all the experiments, boom, and we should be good. We should be back in this in the previous state, the original state where we started today. I'm going to start Cypress again before I make any changes. I want to see that my tests are actually passing. Let's see if that pops up. I'm gonna check. How am I on memory usage? Yeah, I should be good. I'm on 2.3 gig, so I should be good. All right, let's run this guy. I feel a little selfish because I didn't let
No,
you
it's okay. It's okay. I mean,
touch
this
the
is
keyboard. Right.
huh.
So this is a false negative. Yeah. Worrying as hell. We need to dive into this.
Yeah.
Why the so basically what what I would like you to do, if possible, if you have a minute or 2 hours, just pull down the code and see if you can replicate this weird behavior of Cypress.
Yeah.
But okay, so this works, and now what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna remove this attribute. Boom. Name is a required option. Okay.
For create slice. Okay.
All right.
But the error messages are not bad.
Right.
Huh?
So what if we, okay, well, I want to see this pass again. Okay, a false negative. No, well, it passed. Good. No? Okay, let's try this again. Why would this be happening? We just got, so is this the same? Okay, reboot Cypress.
Yeah.
Here's the 5 minutes, boom.
Yeah. I mean, in the docs, when it's going through all the different parameters for create slice, it specifically says that name is a string name for this slice of state. Generated action type constants will use this as a prefix. So when we create actions, we generate an action, we give it a type with what we put in the arguments, and it says we'll use this as a prefix. So
for the action type.
For action type.
Right. So this is again failing for some reason, and now the last one passed. The one that look, this is so ridiculous.
Yeah, we need another testing app. I don't, it's not maybe Cypress. I just don't trust really what's going on.
What's happening here?
Yeah.
And now all of them are well.
Yeah, there's some funky business.
Yeah, it could be some stuff in memory. Now all three passed without me doing any changes. This is so weird. So just let you know what. As a last thing, I just want to open up the dev tools. I'm going to set a debugger here and just take a look at the action type,
Yeah.
Because I want to see this being used. So we just say action, and that's that's exactly what you get. And the payload is nothing. Why is payload nothing? I don't know.
Well, it's early days. It's the initial state.
Yeah. And we got this, and now we say action, and now we have 20. Right, good.
Well, at least that looks nice in the console.
So just to a comment on this, it feels a little bit like this toolbox is patching over the initial, I don't know how to call it, architecture or way of doing things in Redux. And it also closes a few doors for me, or I'm missing something that I'm used to dispatch actions as objects, right? Actions like objects, exactly, with the type and the payload manually. I've never been a great user of action creators, but that's probably just my shortcoming. I thought that it was just adding a lot of overhead, because you have to create them and stuff like that. Here, it feels like a very convenient way of creating those action creators, and that's good. I like that. But on the same time, because of my ignorance and because I don't know how to, ignorance is the wrong word here, but because I just don't know the package yet, but I can't dispatch this anymore directly. Well, that's not true. You know what? because look, if I take this now and I have this slice and I go to new service and I comment this guy out and I say store dispatch type, and then I just use this as a as a no,
you use, yeah,
there we go. And now I say
and
payload, and the payload would be the articles, of course, right?
yeah.
By knowing more about this toolbox, I can actually do this if I want. There's no reason for me to do it, probably, but let's see if this will work. This is the first one, and right, and the second one, and I still get it. Do you understand? Right. So I can still do it like this, although there is no reason for me to do it because the action is being created for me automatically using the create slice. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to try this out.
I see it. I see it.
Yeah. Anyhow, right. That will do it for us.
Yeah.
React with Redux Toolbox seems like a very convenient way to deal with application state.
You don't, if you really don't want to type in the type every time, I guess that's,
yeah. And but there's a thing that we are kind of forced to use this toolbox now because the Redux package deprecated some of the other stuff like the create store thing. I think they actually pointed us to use the toolbox in a deprecation message.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, look, it'll be fun to rewatch this 6 months from now and kind of critique what we're doing. And I'm sure we'll have a lot more insights by then. Learning is a continuous journey. So, we'll keep using it, we'll keep diving, and we'll also look back and try to synthesize what we've learned.
Exactly. All right. And if you enjoy this video, folks, I'm again legally obligated to say a few things. If you like the video, comment below. If there's anything that you find odd that we did, comment below. Keep it nice and civil, please. No hate speech.
No, don't be direct.
No. Support Ukraine, of course.
Yes.
Be a nice person. Read a book. Don't code all day. Code as much as possible, but don't give up on life.
And take notes by hand.
Take notes, yeah, of course. Do not invest in the most expensive note.
Oh, I actually just got to use that at the Moore Airport in Oslo. I got to try one out. They're really cool. I think I will get one.
You should. It's only like 650 euros. So well, so the notebook itself is 500 plus euros, but it's very stylish brown.
Yeah, you can't go without. You can't go without.
Yeah. That's 140 euros, and the stylus, which is so the thing is that in this particular one you can write with one side and then you flip it and you can erase immediately. There's a simpler one that is, I don't know.
Okay, switch functionality.
Yeah, 7-8 euros cheaper than you get by with that. I guess, I don't know. I use it often, and there is a I can screen share, and stuff. So that's awesome. Yeah, I like it. And then you can connect it to your Google Drive. We're not endorsed. This is no commercial.
Right.
Placement thingy.
Send us a couple of those. It'll be great.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
See you in the next one.
See you next one, brother. Take it easy. Cheers.